All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. What if I was to tell you that the number one thing that has you settling for less than you truly want and deserve in your life is what you believe about God? Now, notice I didn't say lack of belief or that you didn't believe in God. I said what you believe about God. You see, believing in God is easy, right? Just saying, oh man, yeah, I know it's something other than me. I don't really have to understand it, but I believe in God. But having a divine relationship and co-creating your life with God, being God-centered and fulfillment-driven, it takes a different level of belief. Now, I just love the saying, the elephant in the room, right? It's the thing right over there that is too big to ignore. Yet we spend so much time doing that very thing. In this session, we're going to discuss the masculine word for the day, and that word is the word belief. Now, if we haven't met yet, let me introduce myself. My name is Mark Mascola, and I want to welcome you to Masculine to the Core and the Man in the Arena podcast, and this series that I'm doing that is titled The Masculine Word for the Day. Above and beyond my purpose for empowering men to be more God-centered and fulfillment-driven, boiled down to its basic essence. My goal here is to put the word God and the word masculinity back in the same sentence where they belong. Now, it didn't take long to look around and see the ignorance, misuse, and abuse of the word masculine in our world today. But it makes a lot more sense when you understand that that word, masculine, is the number one characteristic of God that he gave you when he created you in his image and in his likeness. And there are actually three characteristics that are at the core of every man. And those three godly characteristics. And again, I want to make sure that we put the word masculine and God back into the same sentence. But those three core characteristics are the word masculine, creative, and powerful. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that so you can make sure you can get the rest of this series. Again, it's titled The Masculine Word for the Day. If you want to know more about what we do and why we do it, I'll invite you to check the link in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me start with the definition of a story. But before I do that, if you're a student of personal development, like me, right? If you look at the 8 key areas every modern man must master, number one is personal growth, personal development. We have to work on ourselves. There is a myth concerning the concept of positive mindset, right? All you have to do is think positively. That's the number one key, is to think positively. A myth is a widely held but false belief. And you have to understand that there are lots of positive thinkers who fail miserably because of what I'm going to talk about today. The definition of mindset is your collection of beliefs. You see, we can believe positively, but believe badly. Think about that statement. We can believe positively, but believe badly. Let me put both hands in the air. I've been that guy. But let me give you another definition, and then I'm going to tell you a story. I talk a lot about the concept of beliefs in the book, Masculine to the Core. And what I'm going to do today in this session is a little different. I'm actually going to read from the section of the book, Masculine to the Core. Section 201 is called The Elephant in the Room, and it's from the section titled Your True Identity. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go, right from the text of the book, Masculine in the Core. One of my favorite sayings is, let's talk about the elephant in the room. It simply means we're going to have a conversation about the obvious. So let's go ahead and talk about it. If you're like any of the countless number of men who have taken the power number assessment, you will see that there are some areas where you have some work to do if you want to join us on the quest to purposefully create a fulfillment-driven life. So let's start our conversation with a definition and then a story. First, the definition: beliefs. Beliefs are an acceptance or state of mind that something is true, and I'm going to add whether it is or not. You see, the foundation of everything we are is what we believe, and that begins with what we believe about ourselves. Now, our belief system is a system that is learned and accepted, and some of these beliefs will empower us, and some of them, well, they do nothing more than give our past permission to hold our future hostage. We see and experience the world through the filter of what we believe, and again, that begins with what we believe about ourselves. Now the story. I think we can all agree that the elephant is the most powerful land animal on earth. A single adult elephant can weigh as much as 13,000 pounds and can carry 18,000 pounds. That's like carrying over 100 grown men. I mean, think about that. A wild elephant is an animal that is feared by men because it can be extremely aggressive when it feels threatened. It has the power to destroy large trees, vehicles, you name it. It can destroy most anything it wants to. In order to train an elephant, the first thing that the trainer must do is to just teach it to not escape. They do this by simply chaining the elephant's leg to a log or a post at a very young age. The log keeps the elephant from going anywhere, and over time, the elephant becomes conditioned to the fact that it is a captive. Even as this animal grows large enough to carry the weight of more than 100 grown men, it remains captive because of one simple thing. Through its past experience, someone helped it create a belief. The elephant is held captive by its past in a conditioned response that is its belief. Remember the definition? An acceptance or state of mind that something is true, and I'm going to add like I always do, whether it is or not. The elephant has accepted a false identity as its reality. I mean, think about that for a second. He is conditioned to believe he is something he is not. How many men in the world do you think have the same issue? There are millions. Men have accepted a false identity, a false reality, because they have accepted a false identity about who they are. So let me ask, if your beliefs are labels, would you wear them on a t-shirt? I am, I can't, it's hard, I did, I settled for, they did, my background keeps me from, my skin color, my parents, my education, where I live, if you only knew. Mark, you just don't understand. But I do understand. Until I discovered this, I allowed false beliefs I have accepted as my truth to block me from discovering my true identity and holding my unlimited potential hostage. Now, this is the never-ending, arduous journey of every man. Within all your life experiences, you created your current belief system. I mean, think about your experiences growing up and all of your thoughts, actions, and results that make up your current circumstances. Your experiences are the foundation of your beliefs. These beliefs either empower us or they give our past permission to hold our future hostage. We value and defend our closely held beliefs, whether they serve us or not. I mean, think about the elephant in the story. He is held hostage by what he believes. He's not held hostage by his trainer. He is held hostage by because of what he believes about himself. There is nothing easier for a man to do than accept his false identity, and there is nothing more painful. They're out there, frustrated and angry. Just look around. But here's what you have to understand. The beliefs that hold you back, some of them are not your fault. There are plenty of men who have a limiting and faulty belief system they have become conditioned to believe because of someone, whether they be well-meaning or not, or something else. But here's the bad news. Some of them are your fault. You have intentionally or unintentionally allowed thoughts and actions to become habits, habits to become a lifestyle, and thoughts, actions, habits, and lifestyle to create your beliefs. And here's some more bad news. There are lots of high achievers, high performers, positive thinkers, and men of faith who have a faulty belief system. They are living way below their God-given potential because of what they internally believe about themselves. You see, men have no idea how powerful they really are. All right, so again, that came directly from the book Masculine the Core, the section called Our True Identity, section 201, the elephant in the room. So here's a couple of questions for you to think about as it relates to the idea of what you believe about God, in understanding that the most powerful thing about us is what we believe, and that begins with what we believe about ourselves and our divine relationship with God. So the quality of the lives that we live will always be based on the quality of the questions that we're willing to ask ourselves, and then our willingness to answer them. So try these questions on as they relate to the topic today about what you believe about God. If you don't believe that God created you in the image and the likeness of the power itself, how good is your divine relationship with that power? If you don't believe that you are part of the power, how good will your relationship with that power be? All right, remember, you were created in the image and the likeness of the power itself. So here's another question. If you don't believe that the same power created you with and for a higher purpose, how good is your relationship with that power? Again, the three primary characteristics that God gave you on the sixth day when he created the masculine soul of a man. Number one is masculinity. Number two is creativity. And number three is the word power. Again, our goal here is to help you be more God-centered and fulfillment-driven. You were created in the image and the likeness of a powerful God, and he wants you to co-create your life with him. Put him at the center of the 8 key areas that every modern man must master, again, to become more God-centered and fulfillment-driven. So step into the arena here. Check out all of the things we've got going on here at Masculine in the Core and the Man in the Arena podcast. Till next time, go be the best and most powerful version of you. You know, the man God created in his image and likeness. So be sure and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.